everybody, and welcome back to Ljubljana Talks at IBTM Trade Show Barcelona. This is the third edition of live Ljubljana Talks, and here with us is the next guest, which is legendary and famous János Fazakas from Visual Europe, Hungary.
Thank you, Gorazd, for the kind words. Great to see you, and thank you for the invitation. And hi everyone on the other side of the screen.
János, my first question is, what do you think about this statement? Failure sucks, but instructs.
I agree. I absolutely agree. Also, I want to say that not only instructs but teaches. So I think when everything is on the line, you cannot learn from that anything. So you always learn from the fuck ups. That's how it's work. The whole process it's about, because if you look to event industry and event production, what we do, temporary locations, temporary shows. So our whole production workflow and life, it's about to solving unexpected problems on site with your resources. It's like every event, it's like Apollo 30 mission, usually. So this is our business, and more mistakes you found, more mistakes you can solve, more you know about the industry, and you will become more productive on the long run. It's all about the routine and expertise and the years you spend in the project.
We're going to take an example from what happened this year in Slovenia, and we're going to apply it to you. You create the largest festival in Hungary, and let's say that the weather turns on you unexpectedly, and all of a sudden you have the entire venue flooded. What do you do?
Well, first of all, you always need to be prepared for the venue. For the weather. First, what you need to check that based on this weather, you need to cancel the event or not. If you have a risk, you cannot play the risk because you play with people's lives. And this is the most important. So, first of all, have a good insurance. Still today, a lot of event companies don't have good insurance. That's a problem. That's a big problem. And it's not only in Hungary or in Slovenia. It's even problem. Even in Germany, it's not a normal thing that the event production companies have good insurances. So, if you are a planner or producer, doesn't matter. Good insurance for your equipment, for your show, because if there is any danger for the attendees, no brainer, you need to cancel the event. Yes, it's terrible. You worked all year for that, but you need to cancel because it's dangerous. So safety first. From my point of view, safety first always. If it could be solved on site, we can solve that. There is a lot of things to solve, but if you cannot solve, it's no brainer. Cancel the event, return the price of the tickets.
Okay, so you have a big team, right?
Yeah.
And looking at your team, do you see who admits, the mistakes or even fuck-ups easier, men or women? In your experience.
It's a good question, but I'm not sure if I can answer that because it depends on the project and on the fuck-up and on the person. So I don't think that it's a gender-based thing.
Okay. So what would you say, what kind of profile of employees you are looking for? So I'm going with this is everybody's saying there's a crisis of staff, right? How do you look for staff? How do you choose the staff? And what do you expect of them if there is a fuck-up?
Well, it's a very deep topic, but let me try to cover in a short-term way. So, in our industry, we call that rock and roll industry, was a certain type of people who doing that for long years from the beginning. They started as roadies, they grow up, they do all the shows. But the industry is changing, and after 2008 crisis, all around the globe started to grow the independent contractor business models like Fiverr, Uber, and so on. So we need to look for a lot of aspects of the labor market. So first of all, first time in the history of the industry, we started to compete not with each other for the labor, but with other industries. It's a new thing. It's a new thing. We never had it. So this is a global trend, and the global trend means you cannot change it. You just can to adapt to it. That's very bad. We cannot solve that. So this is one part. The second one is the demographic question. Demographic, what happens in the past decade, the past 10 years, the boomers gone retired. They retired. The generations who come was much smaller. Who come here? It's the same. It's the same in the automotive industry. It's the same in the finance industry. It's the same in the event industry. Everywhere else. So the people we are looking for actually doesn't even born. That's a big problem. Also, again, you cannot change that. You can change that. All of us learned at the biology class how we can change that, but it takes years and women's and great nights. But so back, just joking. So again, what is that? It's a trend. You cannot change. You need to adapt. So our industry needs a special mindset. You have very flexible working hours. Sometimes you don't have to sleep. You need to travel a lot, and so on and so on. It needs a special mindset, and it works only. It's really I say usually that it's like a regular military without guns. We're working in uniforms. We're working together on site. Really, like when you are on an event with your production team, it's like to be in a trench. That's the feeling. And this is what makes the bond in this industry very, very strong between people. So
I saw you in action, on 20th of August, so I saw also the fuck up there, you told me about it. But I agree with you definitely. I mean, big compliments.
Yeah.
And, I can confirm this.
And this was the people we look for. But because of these circumstances, the only way what we can do that we need to change the way how we work to have access to other part of the labor market. So what does it mean? Yes, we in the event industry need to understand that the people need to sleep sometimes. You need to rest to be creative. I used to say that we're paying with our nightmares for our creativity. but so mental health, well-being, extremely important. It's not a joke anymore. So you will not find people, now the generation who is coming, 20 years old, and you tell them to jump into industry where you have extremely stressed, don't have time to sleep, always on rush, always risky deadlines, and so on, and they will say no, and they are absolutely right. So what I would say, how we're looking for, it's not like about the hiring of the people. It's about to find another way to do our job, which is accessible for other people too, not just these crazy animals like us. Because we are a species in danger and definitely will disappear. So.
But why then school? I heard that you established your own school for technicians and so on. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, basically the problem in the event industry is that it's not institutionalized. It's also a global problem, but at the same time, it could be solved on site. So for tourism, you have universities. You learn some event management at universities, but it's not the same. So if you're looking for event production, the biggest market in Europe UK, if it's still considered Europe, I don't know. Yeah, yeah. So it's the biggest entertainment market in Europe, and they have in total 4 schools. Or UK, Germany too. So it's like it's a big problem. We need to invest in that. It's not institutionalized. So what we do, that we started a school, a small academy, where we can train the people, not only our own people, but also this could be an accredited institution, so we can give actually to the people the basic knowledge what's needed in the industry. Because the other thing, what is the problem in the industry, that everyone learned the industry on the run. So it's like, no, you need to have a basic knowledge. I understand that it's, of course, a lot of things coming with the routine, but you need to have the basics. Because what happens, where shortages on the labor market, you have much less resources in-house to mentoring the youth, so somehow you need to give them some minimal basic knowledge about the industry before you hire them. But also the mentorship programs are very good, very important, but it takes a lot of time from a professional. So
János, you have offices in several countries, but of course you are based in Budapest, which is close to your heart. What can you say about Budapest and the competitiveness of Budapest at this particular moment, with all the new investments, the renovated Hungary Expo, brand new stadiums, a lot of new hotels coming to the city almost weekly, I would say. So how competitive is Budapest at this moment in comparison with Prague, I would say Warsaw, Vienna, and why Budapest? A lot of questions.
There's a lot of questions. So if you look, so about Budapest, what is interesting in Budapest, that's when you come first time from a touristic perspective, the first thing what you realize, it's an unexpectedly huge city in a small country. And this makes difference. So usually when people traveling to small countries, they expect even the capitals to have smaller capitals, smaller scale. But Budapest is a huge city. It's 2.5 million people together with the suburbs, largest city in the region, beautiful architecture, beautiful Art Nouveau and Neo-Renaissance architecture. Also some medieval parts still living. And what I can say that the infrastructure in Budapest is very developed. So we have very good venues. We have great transport, even the public transport. We have a beautiful view with the Danube, with a huge riverbank. We have very good suppliers, I could say, in catering, in AV production, in booth building, designers. We have a lot of, actually from Hungary, a lot of Hungarian companies working internationally because they are recognized. So what I can say that Budapest have its very interesting special vibe. Also the nightlife is awesome. The culture is awesome. Very interesting because the culture is influenced by the Balkans, influenced by the Germans. So a lot of mixture, interesting influence. In Budapest, the gastronomy, it's awesome. What I really like, and yeah, basically for me, Budapest is more I travel, more I like my city. But all cities that you mentioned have a lot of great things, like Vienna. Vienna is beautiful. Prague's medieval city center is
all these
awesome.
cities as well,
Yes,
right?
yes. Yeah, so Warsaw developing extremely. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. The speed of development of Poland, it's great. I'm absolutely sure that in 10 years Poland is the third largest economy of Europe, for sure. When we're talking about labor shortages, it's inside the whole developed world struggling with labor shortages. Poland, first time in their history, passed the 40 million population because they just get on set circumstances, but because of the war in Ukraine, they get around 4 million new employees in the country. Absolutely crazy. So yeah, and in this region, what I really can recommend, in Prague, Warsaw, or Budapest, or also Ljubljana, is the safety. Safety and the cleanness of the cities. I think these are very, very important. And of course, a good price to quality ratio in comparison with Western European destinations.
So working all around, you go to many events yourselves, you organize so many events, you attend them, you basically live this industry. But tell me, what is your favorite event?
It's a very difficult question. Thank you. Well, I can say my favorite event. My favorite event is where I go to work, but as a holiday. Every summer I go to the Valley of Arts Festival in Hungary. It's organized in a valley with 3 small villages, and basically in every backyard is a small pop-up stage with literature, music, and so absolutely awesome festival. And I go there, and this is my holiday every year. They go there and they working as a stage manager. So go back to the roots, to the music industry, a great organization team, like a family, beautiful atmosphere and vibe. It's absolutely awesome. It's very good for mental health. So really, for me, that festival is
For mental health.
yeah.
Yeah. If sky is the limit, what kind of event you want to organize as Visual Europe? Is this Are these Olympics games, or what are you planning actually?
Well, there is the big shows always. Like Olympics, Super Bowl, this kind of show, the biggest shows, if you want to reach them, maybe. But I like the out of the box things more. So I would say, I don't know how many years will take, maybe 20 years. But if you say sky is the limit, well, the space tourism just started. So I will want to make an event in the space
Cool.
in the next 20 years.
Very good.
That's my goal.
Very good. And my next question is about the future plans of Visual Europe. We must be also serious about that. We need to ask you that.
Okay.
Any new country coming to your portfolio, or what is happening in regards with that?
Yeah, we're looking for options. I cannot say very detailed, but we're looking maybe to start to grow overseas also. We plan that on the longer run, but now we're seeing the opportunity that maybe we need to start earlier, this expansion. Basically in Europe now we are settled in 5 countries, so we are not planning to open a new office in Europe, but expanding our already existing offices and exploring the overseas market now. This is the goal.
This is so exciting. Thank you for the talk. There's a couple of short questions we have to answer. You have to answer.
Yes or no? Yeah.
So no, you can be more elaborate, but
I understand. I talk too much.
The mountains or the sea?
Mountains, definitely.
Heavy metal disco.
No brainer. Metal.
János, thanks for being our guest. We really enjoyed talking with you. Stay tuned, and we are coming back soon. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.